Julie students. Today we will study about population interactions. This is also part of organisms and population. We all know that all the organisms interact with each other. They interact for food, they interact for shelter, and there is no organism in nature which lives in isolation. They all need two or more species, one or more species to feed. Even the plants that make their own food, they need help of some other many organisms like soil microbes. The plants also need pollinators to pollinate them. Plants also need pollinators to pollinate them. So in nature, plants, animals, microbes, they all interact with each other to form a community, or we can say biological community. So their interactions can be the interactions of different organisms can be beneficial or detrimental, or we can say harmful, or it can be neutral. So these are some of the interactions. First interaction is mutualism. In mutualism, both the interacting species, suppose species A and B, they both benefit from the interaction. Next interaction is competition. In this interaction, both the interacting species A and B, they have negative effect or both are harmed. Third is predation. In this, species A get benefits while other species have negative effect. Fourth is parasitism. In parasitism, one of the interacting species is benefited and the other interacting species is harmed. And in commensalism, one species is benefited and the other has neutral effect, or it is neither harmed nor benefited. Sixth interaction is amensalism. In this interaction, one species is harmed and other species is neither harmed nor benefited. So we will study these interactions one by one. First we will study about predation. Predation is a type of interaction in which one species is harmed and one species is benefited. The one that is harmed is called prey and the one that is benefited is called predator. It's called predator. So these predators, they play a very important role in ecosystem. First, they act as channel for energy transfer through food chain. Now we'll see how they act as energy transfer. In a food chain, suppose there is a grass, or we can say some plants. That grass is eaten by a herbivore, and herbivore is eaten by a carnivore. So in this, grass transfer its energy to herbivores, and herbivore will transfer its energy to carnivore. So through predation, the energy is getting transferred, and the predator also keep the prey population under control, and predators also help in maintaining species diversity. Like example, if there is a grassland, goat and tiger, if we remove the tiger, the goats will multiply and they will finish off the grassland. So tiger is essential to keep the prey population, that is goat, under control, and they also help in maintaining the species diversity. Next is, many prey species achieve high density and cause ecosystem instability. Like when some exotic species is introduced into an area, like exotic species are species that are not found in natural habitat. So when prickly pear, it is a type of cactus, was introduced in Australia, it started multiplying at very high rate because its natural predator was not in that area. So to bring this under control, its predator, which is a moth, was introduced to bring this cactus under control. And sometimes when the predator is too efficient, it overexploits the prey. In such case, what happens is the prey get extinct. So when the prey get extinct, its predator will also get extinct. To avoid predation, the prey have certain adaptations or defense mechanism to protect itself from predation. Like insects and frogs, they camouflage. They blend with surrounding, or they change their color. Here in the picture you can see frog has blended with its surroundings. The frog won't be visible to its predator. Next is mimicry. In mimicry, an organism mimics a harmful organism. One such example is monarch butterfly and viceroy butterfly. The monarch butterfly is distasteful to its predator. Distasteful to its predator क्योंकि they have certain chemicals in their body. They have certain chemicals in their body. So जो monarch butterfly का predator है, it is a bird. So this bird avoid monarch butterfly because of certain chemicals present in them. The viceroy butterfly is tasteful to its predator. So this viceroy butterfly mimics, or it try to look like monarch butterfly. Here in this picture we can see monarch butterfly and viceroy butterfly. Both the butterfly look same. Next mechanism is plants also have defense mechanism to avoid herbivores. Predator of plant is herbivores, and to avoid the herbivores they have certain morphological adaptations, like they have thorns and spines, and they also have certain harmful chemicals which make the herbivores sick when they eat the plants. So the herbivores, they avoid eating the plants. Next type of interaction we will study is competition. Competition is a type of interaction in which both the interacting species are harmed. Competition is of two types. One is intraspecific competition and another is interspecific competition. In intraspecific competition occurs between individuals of same species, and in interspecific competition, the competition occurs between individuals of different species. In nature, it is believed that competition occurs between organisms of same species, but this is not entirely true. We'll take an example to explain this. In South American lake, flamingos, they visit the lake and compete with the resident fish which is already there in the lake, and they have a common food, that is zooplanktons. Here in this picture you can see flamingos. Next, competition also occurs when the resources are unlimited. Competition also occurs when the resources are unlimited. Example, in Galapagos Island, there is a tortoise called Abingdon tortoise, and when in Galapagos Island, when goats were introduced in that island, within a decade the Abingdon tortoise tortoise got extinct because the god has higher browsing efficiency than the tortoise. Here in this picture you can see how abundant tortoise looks like. When two closely related species compete for common resource, one of the weaker species gets eliminated. The weaker species get eliminated. They cannot coexist, so the weaker species get eliminated. This is known as Gauss' principle of competitive exclusion. That means species which are closely related, they cannot exist for long. Either one will be eliminated. So in order to coexist, they partition the resources. In order to coexist, they partition the resources, like they change the feeding time, they also change the feeding habits. MacArthur showed that different species of warblers, they live on same tree and they partition the resources. Here in this picture you can see different species of warbler. They live on same tree but they feed on different sides of the tree. Some feed on top parts, some on the middle and some on the bottom. Next interaction we will study is parasitism. Parasitism is a type of interaction in which one species is benefited and other is harmed. The one which is benefited is called parasite. One harmed is called host. The parasites have evolved many adaptations to be successful with the host. So adaptations are first is loss of unnecessary sense organs, loss of digestive system because they get digested food, adhesive organs or suckers. They have adhesive organs or sucker to cling on their host or to catch the host, and they have high reproductive capacity. The parasites, life cycle of parasite is complex. The parasite sometimes need two hosts to complete its life cycle, And the parasites are of two types. Two types. One is ectoparasite and other is endoparasite. Ectoparasites are the parasites that live on external surface of host. Example is lice on human beings. Similarly, ticks on dogs and also Cuscuta plant. The Cuscuta plant derives its nourishment from the host plant. So, in course of evolution, this Cuscuta plant has lost its chlorophyll and also leaves because they don't have to make the food, they derive nourishment from the host. Next is endoparasite. Endoparasites are the parasites that are found inside the host like liver, kidney, lungs, etc. Example of endoparasite is tapeworm and liver fluke. So that's all for today. We'll study rest of the interaction in next class, July.